they known for their homosexual tendencies?
Oh God, yes. Notorious. Yeah. Notorious for it.
It's official, Red, White, and Royal Blue 2 is happening. But here's the exciting part. Recent buzz about the lead actor has practically confirmed there's talk of turning this into a trilogy. In an interview with Forbes, Zakhar Perez, one of the stars of the first movie, hinted at the possibility of more films. So let's dive into everything we know so far about the trilogy and what might be in store after the first movie. Before we get into what Zakhar Perez said about the Red, White, and Royal Blue trilogy in his Forbes interview, let's chat about the plot for the second movie. So the director Matthew Lopez hinted that the sequel might stray a bit from the first movie's path. And by the way, there aren't any sequel books to follow. The film, which came out on Prime Video on August 11, is based on Casey McQuiston's 2019 best-selling novel. It centers on the blossoming relationship between Alex Claremont Diaz, the son of the US president, and Prince Henry, the grandson of the UK's king. Lopez told GQ that for a sequel to happen, it can't be rushed. It needs to be made thoughtfully and carefully, especially since we've got the ongoing writers and actors strikes to sort out first. The film's message of hope and love has really resonated with audiences, so if there's a sequel, it'll need to maintain that same vibe. As for the plot, McQuiston hasn't written a sequel, but there's a bonus chapter that jumps 5 years ahead showing Alex and Henry's life in New York. The sequel could pick up from there, maybe with an engagement or Alex's run for public office, or it could pick up at any point in the timeline, even between the novel and that bonus chapter. Ultimately, as long as it keeps Alex and Henry's dynamic intact, it could be a fitting continuation of the story, but nothing set in stone yet, since we haven't had a chance to gauge the movie's viewership numbers yet. Since we don't know much about the sequel story, it's expected that new characters will be introduced who weren't in the original. The sequel could explore how living their lives in the public eye might bring its own set of challenges. The first movie saw Alex and Henry hiding their relationship, so a follow-up might delve into how their established relationship is received by the world at large. It could either introduce new conflicts or continue with a more light-hearted, romantic vibe while leaving out the darker aspects of hatred and bigotry. Many romantic sequels tend to put relationships in jeopardy, so Alex and Henry might face their first real hurdles as they work toward a long-term healthy relationship in Red, White, and Royal Blue 2. Something important to note is that along with the sequel announcement, Amazon confirmed that the original movie's leads will be back for Red, White, and Royal Blue 2. That means Galitzine will reprise his role as the charming but stiff Prince Henry, and Zakhar Perez will return as Alex, the fun-loving son of the US president. While no other cast members have been confirmed yet, it's highly likely that Uma Thurman will come back as Alex's mom, President Ellen Claremont. Now let's dive into what Zakhar Perez shared during his Forbes interview. The actor is enthusiastic about the future of his latest project, envisioning it potentially becoming more than just a sequel, maybe even a trilogy. It could be a trilogy, Zakhar Perez said during our Zoom chat on Thursday. Could you imagine having the first queer trilogy for young people to log in and see themselves on TV? He added, "I would love for it to be a staple for Amazon, for people to log in and go, oh, this is my happy place. This is a teachable moment, but I am also going to laugh." Teaming up with Galitzine, the discussion goes beyond just the film's storyline. It's about creating a space where viewers can see themselves reflected on screen, particularly young queer audiences who may not always find themselves represented in mainstream media. It's a vision Zakhar Perez holds dear, and it's clear he is passionate about pushing for more inclusive storytelling. To understand where Zakhar Perez came from, it's helpful to look at his journey. Born in Chicago and raised in Indiana, he reminisces about his early years with a family that was supportive but knew how to push him to be independent. My parents were very open to me. As soon as I got a car, they were like, do whatever you want, go to all the art things that you want, as long as you keep swimming, as long as you maintain a good grade point average. Zakhar Perez recalls, I was in Chicago probably every week for a few days by myself, going on castings, going on auditions, working. I learned a lot during those years about what I wanted to surround myself with. By 2010, he took a leap of faith and moved to Los Angeles to pursue his dreams in acting. His first few years out west were spent working in an art production and meeting a variety of actors, from the inspiring to the disheartening. I met tons of prolific actors and actresses. Some of them were incredible. Most of them were not, Zakhar Perez reflects. I think I learned along the way what kind of actor I wanted to be on the public-facing side, because I never want to be made to feel the way they made me feel on set. These early years also shaped his respect for the behind-the-scenes crew. So I think in there is where I gained, and in theater, the respect for the crew, the below-the-line folks, Zakhar Perez explains. I've sacrificed to get here, and at the same time, I see so many people out there sacrificing the same amount and just not getting anywhere. There's just so much untapped talent in Los Angeles, in New York, in Chicago, everywhere. The voices, the acting chops, it's incredible. So I'm just so grateful every day to be in this position. Despite not being able to properly celebrate the film's premiere due to the SAG-AFTRA strike last year, Zakhar Perez was able to reconnect with his cast and crew at a special screening and a Q&A event for the film's Emmy consideration season. It was wonderful last night getting the band back together because I don't think any of us were all in the same room at the same time ever. Zakhar Perez reflects, Casey came in on a photo shoot day when filming the movie, and we weren't even shooting anything. We got to say hi to them for an hour. Matthew was doing something else that day. I think Rachel was gone, Uma was gone, it was just me and Nick doing all this key concept art. And so we never really got to celebrate it and bring the baby into the world together. Zakhar Perez added, at this point in my life, I finally have to come to the realization that understanding the past helps you in the present and your future. I think that's how I protect my peace. It's close friends and close family. My family group chat is always going off, and I'm so grateful for them. Looking ahead beyond the sequel, now in the works for Red, White, and Royal Blue, Zakhar Perez is eager to take on new challenges. I want to work with incredible filmmakers, like I love Denis Villeneuve. Oh my gosh, all of his films, Dune, incredible. David Ayer, Doug Liman, I love me some Jason Bourne projects. Cord Jefferson, I loved American Fiction, and I met him a couple of times. I saw him at the Oscars, and he was such a wonderful human being. I think that's another thing. They say don't meet your heroes, and I've been so lucky to meet a bunch of producers and directors that I look up to, and actors, and that their ego, they leave it at the door, and they can have a real conversation with you. And that's that for today's video. If you think we haven't shared everything we know, hit that subscribe button and bring that notification bell down. Don't forget to leave a comment down below. Do all these things to stay in the loop, and we'll show up next time with more updates on what's coming in the world of movies. See you in the next one.